Kia ora, hello, thank you for joining us. I'm Philip Duncan with your Wednesday weather update for December the 7th. We're tracking hot and cold airflows across both New Zealand and Australia. Let's take a look at the animated wind map. Now we've got high pressure to the east of the South Island and high pressure near Western Australia, but low pressure around Tasmania and just to the north of the country, and low pressure around northern Australia as well. This low with the high to the south is making a squash zone around the Auckland area. Windy easterlies gusting to gale force mostly later on Wednesday and really across Thursday, and that could also affect other areas like eastern Waikato, Coromandel Peninsula on the western side, and up around Northland on the eastern side. Now those temperatures are higher down in Southland and the west coast. That's due to the airflow, but the darker green you see on the east shows that the temperatures are down there. And it's a similar story in Australia. Big southerly coming through. Adelaide, you've got some very interesting weather coming up. Temperatures are all over the place, a bit cool at the moment, but Saturday's a hot one. Let's take a look at the rainfall for the next 24 hours in New Zealand. Most of it's in the north. Now, please go to the live rain radar. We've got a Weather Watch and on our app, because this weather is very patchy, and while it looks like everyone's got rain, it is quite broken up. In fact, we've even seen a few sunny spells around Auckland this morning. The rain is going to be a bit off and on, a bit patchy, but you can track it live, and this is where most of it will be. For your local totals, just go to our website. These maps are just a guide to see where the heaviest rain is versus where you live. But if you need to see the totals, just go to our website. You'll find them there. Now, this is the departure from normal temperatures. In other words, how much warmer or cooler will Wednesday afternoon be compared to what has been recorded in the past. You can see the eastern side cooler with that easterly blowing through, but the temperatures lift up warmer than average down around Southland and the west coast, mostly average for the rest of the North Island. And this is not a departure from normal. These are just the temperatures for this afternoon, and pretty hot stuff across the north of Australia, up to 45 degrees here, but that cooler southerly dropping temperatures around the southern half of Australia for now. Let's take a look at the forecast. Here we are for Thursday lunchtime or late morning for Australia. Look at this big southerly coming through. So quite the difference between the weather going on in Queensland, where you're north of the red line, and the weather south of the blue line. I get asked almost every day what these mean. The red line, north of it, humid tropical weather. The blue line, south of it, polar Antarctic weather. Most of the main centres of Australia and all of New Zealand sits in that temperate zone, mostly between the red line and the blue line. So when that red line drops south, the tropics come with it, and when the blue line goes north, the polar air comes with it. So it is going to be a colder day for you on Thursday in that southeastern corner, and windy as well, whereas in New Zealand, it's from the opposite direction. It's a northeasterly or a northwesterly coming down, which means another warm Thursday across the New Zealand area. And it stays that way on Friday with this big high blocking the weather, northerly winds coming down, so it's mild, but yes, it's still raining here and there on Friday across a number of parts of New Zealand as this low sort of deepens. High pressure now moves into Victoria, and on the other side of it, that warmer weather starts to kick in. So by Saturday, the red line drops down, heat is coming to the south. Adelaide, your high on Saturday is into the low 30s. Today it's barely, I don't think it'll even make it to 20 degrees today. 30 by Saturday, 31 or 32. And then it drops again on Sunday. Now on Saturday in New Zealand, still raining, still got showers coming through as that low moves in, but eastern areas look to be the driest. And then we get into Sunday, and I mentioned the cooler change. Well, here it is. In comes the next southerly for Adelaide. Temperatures will be dropping for South Australia as that southerly comes in, but it's still hot and humid up there in Queensland. New Zealand's a bit messy. On Sunday, we've got a few showers around, but that low pretty much falling apart. And up in the tropics, low pressure near Fiji, worth keeping an eye on, because by Monday next week, that low deepens a little bit further. At this stage, it's not forecast to become a storm, but with La Nina still around and now getting into the warmer months, worth keeping an eye on. But there's a big block of high pressure in the New Zealand area on Monday, while it gets stormy across Victoria with gale force winds setting in for you. So there we go. That is the forecast coming up. We'll see you again tomorrow with our next update.